On Epona, you can normally only use the bow, which is set to your B button, and none of the items that you've equipped to your C buttons are usable. But on the North American N64 version of Majora's Mask, there is a glitch that allows you to use any item on Epona. By entering an area while on Epona, and then, without pausing, go into a save statue, saving your game, and then reloading it, you'll be able to use any item on Epona. And that really is any item, not just the items you would normally be able to use, so you can use a Fierce Deity Mask, a Powder Keg, any item at all. But there is a drawback, and that's that if you pause at any point, then the glitch gets cancelled. So any items you want to use, you must set up before you enter the area with the owl and save. If you use the ocarina, or an item that plays a small cutscene such as a trade item or a bottled item, then Link will be stood in the air while Epona can still run around. This is known as remote control Epona. By pressing A during remote control Epona, you can get back on Epona. You can also do remote control Epona by using a transformation mask. Note that if you're transformed, then pressing A will bring up a text box saying, "You won't be able to get on your horse in that form," but ignore that text box because you'll soon pop back on Epona. Unless you were running when you pressed A, because that would softlock the game. So try to make sure Link's standing still when you press A. Unfortunately, when you transform, the glitch gets cancelled. But it's easy to fix this by resaving at the owl statue. By doing this, the transformations will be able to use any item too. For some reason, turning human doesn't cancel the glitch, which means that you can turn human, climb back on Epona, and you'll still have unrestricted items. Another cool thing about remote control Epona is that, since it's Link that triggers loading zones, not Epona, you can drive Epona past loading zones, then get back on her, to end up in areas that you would never normally be able to get to. Such as in this clip, where I go behind the loading zone to Great Bay. Notice that some of the map here is a weird shape, and some of the collision isn't even there. Since this glitch lets you use Ocarina on Epona, it means that you'll be able to play Song of Sorrow on Epona, and take her to areas that she wouldn't normally be allowed in. Keep in mind that in some areas Epona won't spawn, such as Snowhead after you've beaten Snowhead Temple. Although if you enter an area where she can spawn, you'll appear on her again. Be careful to not soar to Icona Canyon before you've beaten the dungeon, because this will crash the game. Soaring to an owl statue will cancel the unrestricted items glitch, but you can simply resave and reload your game to get the glitch back. Okay, let's talk about Epona hovering. When you use remote control Epona, you'll still be able to use items, and if you use the Deku Stick or Great Fairy Sword, you'll be able to slash through the air. As human Link, this makes a small amount of distance every slash. Although generally, it's much better to do this glitch as Zora. As Zora, using the swords will make him punch, which goes much further than the regular sword slash. One thing that's annoying here is that the camera is focused on Epona rather than Link, so it can be hard to see where you're going. There is a way to make navigation easier though. If you do remote control Epona, then pull out the bow, and then pull out a trade item or ocarina, your camera will go into first person mode. This makes it much easier to see where you're going, but you must be in remote control mode when you pull the bow, otherwise the glitch won't work. Okay, I think that sums up about everything. I'm going to finish up by showing you a clip of how to get into the Curiosity Shop on Epona, using remote control Epona and Epona hovering. Enjoy!